I wanted to mention a few things about safety with your Circuit Playground Express or any Arduino or other microprocessor that you may be using for that matter. Usually when you get these boards, they come kind of by themselves. I'm going to pop this one out so you can see like this. And that's fine, but you want to be very careful with the board when it's in this state. The pads along the edge, right, or any pins that might be sticking out the back side are conductive, right? And so if you put this down while it's powered up on a metal surface like a metal table or a metal computer case, you run the risk of having a short through the board, which can fry it or permanently damage it. So you want to be very mindful of what kind of materials you put this down on when it's powered on, right? So I use a wood or plastic surface to put it down on. Right now I've got it down on paper. That's fine too. Those are like non-conductive materials. You also want to be careful then when you're using it too, right? If you've got other components around like resistors or LEDs that have long wire leads, you don't want to place those on top of here accidentally when it's on, because those exposed metal wires could bridge the pads that are exposed on the board, which could cause a short. When you're engaging with the buttons on this, you want to be careful to be pushing the button and like not other components on the board. So just be very mindful and careful that your engagements with this device are intentional, right? You don't want to accidentally engage with this. All of that said, I really recommend a case of some kind to protect your microprocessor. So that's where I have this 3D printed plastic ring that at least keeps it off of the lower surface and somewhat protects the edge of it. It doesn't really protect the top of it. On the syllabus, there's a recommendation for a case that Adafruit makes for this specifically that also covers the top and bottom while still giving you access to the alligator clip pads around the edge and the ports. That's a great option too. We'll look at how you might be able to 3D print one of these things later on in the semester. So all of that is to say, please be mindful of your electronics when you're working with them. And yeah, because these things are certainly more affordable than they used to be, but they're not free, right? So you don't want to be frying these left, right, and center, because you'll be out a lot of money. Okay. A final thing to be careful of is static electricity, particularly now that we're in winter and the air's drier. That little zap you get when you touch a doorknob or a car door or something like that is enough electricity to actually damage your microprocessor should you like zap yourself when touching it. So whenever you sit down to work on your projects, it's a good idea to touch something metal or something grounded to get that static electricity out of your body before you engage with the electronics. It's also a good idea to hold on to any of the these silver metallic bags that you get that electronic stuff comes in. They're anti-static bags, and they help protect your electronics from that static discharge when they're in there. So I always store my microprocessors in these bags when I'm not using them to keep them safe.